We are learning more about the 67-year-old man who was stabbed to death at a bus stop in the city on Sunday. Friends of Paul Behler shared these photos with us. They say he was a fierce advocate working for the homeless in Baltimore. And they told WMAR 2 News' Eddie Kadam they hope his death raises awareness about a community that is often ignored.
67-year-old Paul Behler was a piano player and tuner. He helped start the group Housing Our Neighbors and sat on many boards fighting for housing and health care for people who are experiencing homelessness. It was a struggle he faced in his own life.
A lot of people think of when they think of people who are experiencing homelessness is that, oh, this is a dangerous person and all that stuff. And I mean, frankly, as evidenced right now, we've been more the victims rather than those perpetrating that kind of violence.
Police say these two men robbed and stabbed Behler to death early Sunday morning. Tony Simmons had been bunkmates and friends with Behler for years.
It is so hard to find that way out. It's like they drop you in a well and they look down on that well and say, well, he's still alive, and just move on. Like I said, Paul wasn't the first one of my friends who was stabbed to death. Now, he's not going to be the last. I hate to say that, but he's not going to be the last person that's going to be victimized.
Behler's friends say it's difficult to find anyone that'll rent to you even after your first eviction. Now, according to stats from the Baltimore City Housing Authority, on any given night there's around 6,000 people who are homeless. You compare that to the 16,000 vacant properties here, and Behler's friends say that tells you everything you need to know about the housing inequities that plague this city.
I'm just really sad, and I'm also really angry that this happened to him, because there's enough houses and things to house everybody in Baltimore. There's no reason for Paul or anybody to be outside.
Adam Schneider, a clinical instructor at the University of Maryland School of Social Work, worked with Behler in many different capacities over the years. He says if the system didn't fail Behler, like it has so many others, he wouldn't have been on that bench for those two men to kill him.
If we can recognize and respect the humanity of the people who are being deprived of housing and are housing insecure by canceling rent, and by ensuring that we are creating an adequate supply of housing that's affordable to people.
Paul Behler didn't have a roof over his head, and his friends say he hasn't talked to his family in years. He did have this group of people who knew what he meant to this community.
He meant so much about me. It hurts. It hurts all of us.
Hoping his death opens eyes and changes hearts. In Baltimore, Eddie Kadam, WMAR 2 News.
And police have asked for the public's help to help spread the word about Paul Behler's death so they can reach out and try to notify his family.